Yabaraka,
Yabaraka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Wayashamarka,
Wamashayaka,
Ya'ar,
Ya'ar,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Panyaka,
Panyaka,
Alyaka,
Alyaka,
Wayakanka,
Wayakanka,
Yasha,
Yesha,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Panyaka,
Panyaka,
Alyaka,
Alyaka,
Wayasham,
Wayasham,
Laka,
Laka,
Shalom,
Shalom.
Shalom, Shalom. Alright, GMS Louisiana Saints, Hebrew Israelites from the Lafayette branch coming back at you with another live lesson. Before we go any further, we're going to give infinite honors and praises to
Yahweh,
by
Ba'ashem,
Hashem,
Yahushua,
Yahushua, by
Ba'ashem,
Hashem,
Akakadash.
double honors to our teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and are worthy of their double honors. Peace and blessing to you. I keep pushing out this truth across the four corners during these last 60 times. Shalom.
Shalom.
All right. Back at you with another lesson. All right. Just some things me and the brother were talking through the spirit, current topics, things that are going on right now. All right. Speaking specifically of the WEF. All right. World Economic Forum. We'll just say WEF. All right. The WEF that's taking place to pushing further an image, to pushing further an agenda, to pushing further an order, a specific order that is left-handed, man. All right, that is of Satan, that is of the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, Esau, Edom, man. And with that image, me and the brother were going into how the elect on this side we're working for to be made perfect in Yahawashi, in the image of Yahawashi, man, to be brought back to where we were in the beginning, man. All right, with that immortality, all right, with that incorruptible body. So we're working towards that image of perfection. All right, and like in every good story, you have a hero and a villain. Esau Edom, he's working towards his image, to his perfection of his digital body, man. All right, so Lord willing, it's going to be edifying. You got it, huh? We can get into it. You can speak on it. If you got it.
Yeah. I was just going into what the brother was saying. Going to what the brother was saying. You know, Esau trying to push his agenda and his vision. All right, of what he believes in, and you know, even within like his movies and his TV shows, that's going far back as far as like whenever we were children. You know, he put in them subliminal messages, man, showing, as the scriptures say, what he boasted his heart's desire. You know, so you know that's what he's doing, man. You know, now he's trying to fulfill his belly, fulfill his plot, and trying to fulfill those things of his desire, man, which are evil, according to the scripture.
Hey, sound beautiful, bro. Give me Genesis 1 and 19. You start at 19, man. All right, because in the beginning, all right, like the brother's going to get into, we had that state of immortality. We had that state of incorruptible body, all right? Being that of Adam, man, okay? But we fell and sin came in between us and the Most High, leading to the state we're in now, man. But we're about to go back to that estate, man. See that immortality, man, through perfection in Yahawashi, all right? You got it, brother.
All right, this is Genesis chapter 1, verse 19. It says, "And the evening and the morning were the first." I'm going to read that again. "And the evening and the morning were the fourth day."
Fourth day, all right? And we know, and that just goes to show you that the Lord is not on our time frame, man. We're merely working towards that perfection, which is in Yahawashi, man. All right? The scriptures tell you that he that was without sin cast the first stone. Yahawashi is ultimately gonna take this place down and get that preeminence, man. All right? So the image of Esau society is colliding with the image of Yahweh Shem Yahawashi. And Yahawashi has to come and set that standard to show which image is going to prevail, man. All right? And with that being, we're going to be brought back into this estate right here. Go ahead, brother.
It says, verse
Read it
20.
one more time and get 2 Peter 3 and 8. Read it one more time and get 2 Peter 3 and 8.
This is Genesis chapter 1 and 19. And it says, "And the evening and the morning were the fourth day."
Right, we're the fourth day. So we know we don't operate on the time frame of the Lord, man. The scriptures tell you, 2 Peter 3 and 8. The scriptures tell you that what? Exalt him as much as you can, but you can never go far enough. So we're going to constantly spend our time and our walk here in the flesh, searching and yearning for that day of the Lord, man. If we be of that number, that is what our soul requires. If we be of the elect, is that deliverance, man. All right, you got it, brother.
All right, this is Second Peter 3:8, and it says, but beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing,
Mhm.
that one day with the Lord, shall I get one thing that
Read
one
it over.
day,
Read it over, Baba.
God, my paper's torn up. I feel like it. All right, this is
Second Peter.
Second Peter 3:8. It says, but beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing,
Beloved, the Lord is talking to the house of David. Go ahead.
that one day with the Lord
One day with the Lord
is as 1,000 years,
is as 1,000 years. Now, all these centuries that have passed, captivities that have played out on the planet Earth, leading up into this time, you have Esau, Edom, getting ready to be at the height and fulfill his perfection of his image. All right, and you got the elect that are at the height, getting ready to fulfill the perfection of Yahawashi Yahushua's image, man. Getting ready to be made perfect again, man. Go ahead, brother. You got
and
any
it
more?
says, and 1,000 years as to one day.
And 1,000 years is for one day, man. So 1,000 years could pass. That's one day to the Lord, man. All right. So the Lord doesn't operate in our time. You can go back to Genesis 1:20.
All right. This is Genesis chapter 1. I'm going to start back at 19 from the top. And it says, in the evening and the morning was the fourth day,
4,000 years. Go ahead.
and God said, let the water
And
bring
the
forth,
Alahayim said, go ahead.
let the waters bring forth abundantly and moving creatures,
Right. The waters going into Shemayim. All right. The waters, the heavens. Go ahead one more time.
the moving creatures that have lived and
That have life.
that have life, Shalakia, and fowls that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven.
Right. So the moving creature that had life. We're a moving creature. We have life, all right, but we have that specific life, that specific breath that was given unto us from the beginning, man, that we departed from, all right, when Eve beguiled Adam, because Eve was beguiled by the serpent. The scriptures tell you that what? Through the woman, we all died, man. Through her came the act of sin, man. Okay? Go ahead, brother.
And it says, verse 21, and God created that great well, the Alahayim, and the Alahayim created the great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and after every winged fowl after his kind. And the Alahayim saw that it was good.
That's right, man. So that's every moving creature on the land, all right, on the earth, all right, in the seas and the waters. They were brought forth, man. But us, we were brought forth on this day as well, man, and that fifth day, because the elect, we're that top creature on the planet Earth, man. We're that creature that the Lord particularly chose and said, this is my chosen. I'm going to establish life through them, man. All right, and we're getting ready to get that life back, man, that eternal life back that we had from the beginning. Go ahead, brother.
And it says, and the Alahayim blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let the fowls multiply in the earth.
23.
And the evening and the morning were the fifth day.
The fifth day. So man and woman, other living creatures living on the earth, were created at this time. All these things were evolved by the way of the Lord, man. The ways of the Lord evolve all these things, man. All right. Moving creatures were made. What does that mean? All right. Every moving creature was made, even us. We're the top creature on the planet Earth, man. All right. Go ahead, on.
And it says, and
Now read that one more time.
it says, and the evening and the morning were the fifth day.
For the 5,000 years. So every piece of creation has a rule and an order. All right. And we know that by having to suffer in this flesh right now, because a good judge, a good ruler, a good God knows what? Good and evil, man. We had to play this part of catching hell, of knowing the evil, man, in order to be that top judge that was coming up into perfection after the order of Melchizedek, which is Yahawashi, man. Go ahead, brother.
And it says, and the Alahayim said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping things and beasts, and of the earth after his kind. And it was so.
Go ahead.
It says, and the Alahayim made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and the Alahayim saw that it was good.
That's right. So different species of animals and insects, they were created all at this time, man. The Lord does everything in decency and order. How much more up until this time? We're about to be put in our order. You got that article out of WEF? We're about to be put back in our order. All right? But here we have Esau on the scene. He's trying to establish the earth in his order, man. His NWO, his New World Order, man. All right? And like the brother read, read that again. It said, I'm gonna read verse 25. And Allah made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and saw that it was good. And Allah said, let us make man in our image. Let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion. You see? So you see right there, we were placed over the other creatures, man. It says, let us make man in our image. The image of who? Yahawashi, man. We're about to return back onto that image of Yahawashi, man. By way of the dissolving of this society of America. You got something?
All right. This is George Soros. George Soros sadly pulled out. All right, of the the WEF. All right, and when you scroll down, all right, it says, all right, I got it. Like I'm just trying to find, replace myself. All right, it says his Jewish background and the volume of his political, all right, and physiological um, demands have made him a prime target for conspiracy theories, many of which concerns around him being a part of a global cabinet that seeks to create a NWO. All right, all right. So basically, the world is waking up, to because we in the age of information, and as the scriptures say that in the last days that knowledge shall increase. All right, and the point of that knowledge increasing is not only us increasing in knowledge, but the world as well increasing in knowledge and realizing who the wicked is. All right, and coming to understand their plots and their plans and their agendas. All right, just like the with the whole CF. All right, the jab and all these different things like this. All right, all of these so-called conspiracies, all right, are actually, the truth of them are coming to the light, man. All right, people are waking up. All right, to what? The NWO. All right, their agenda. All right, that's it on that.
All right. Did you read the World Order part?
Yeah. I
Did
just
you read it again?
all right. This is again. It says George Soros. This is going. It says George Soros. It says Jewish background and the volume of his political demands have made him a prime target for conspiracy theories. Many
Right,
of
George Soros. So what is George Soros mainly known for?
all right, creating these different riots, man. All right, that he funds a lot of these riots whenever they have controversies, man. All right,
BLM.
yeah, the BML, the BLM, all right, different things like that, man. All right, he funds those things to what create order out of chaos, so they have a reason to push their agenda, man, which is problem, reaction, solution. All right,
You got any more?
it says um, is the prime target of his conspiracy theories, many of which center around him being a part of a global cabinet that which seeks to create an NWO, man. All right, so George Soros, all right, and along with other people as well, like Elon Musk and them, are all targets, all right, are looked at as people who are behind the curtain, creating, mischief, man. All right, creating crimes and things of that sort. All right, so that's what I'm
You got anything?
all
I'm
right,
gonna go back to Genesis
all right,
1 and 26.
all right. This is Genesis 1:26, and it says, "And the Elohim said, Let us make man in our image, after our likeness."
Get that word image in the blue letter after you read it.
All right. It says, and the Elohim said, Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over fishes of the sea, and over fowls of the air, and over cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth.
Read 27.
So, so the Elohim created man in his own image. In the image of Yahweh created him, male and female created him them.
Right,
Right?
so someone might ask, all right, so someone might ask, well, you said man was created in the 20th verse, right? Because in the 20th verse it says, the Elohim said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. And we're a moving creature. So someone will come up and they'll say, well, you said man was created in the 20th verse. Well, why are they saying this here? Well, man was created, we were created in the fifth day, all right? But the angels slash Elohim, okay, they said, let's make man different, all right? And according to our image, which was that image of Yahawashi, man, all right? Let's give them order, all right? Let's make them the supreme living creatures, all right? That's what was done in the beginning, and that's what's being done right now, man. The house of David are being made back to those supreme living creatures, man, those sons of God. And you have Esau Edom, he's trying to make uh, us digital creatures, man, according to his technology, according to his pseudoscience, man. And the Most High has got to send his Redeemer, his son, Yahawashi, man. You got it, brother.
All right. Forgot that definition of image. Okay. And the blue letter.
6754. Selling. Selling.
All right. The definition of image. All right. In Genesis 1:26, it says image. It says image, likeness of.
Likeness of, now, likeness of what? We were made in the image. Let us make man in our image. All right? The likeness of what? What or whom? All right? It tells you in First Colossians, right? Colossians 1 and 15. That's the
Yeah.
one right up.
Mm-hmm.
It tells you that who's
Invisible.
the image of the invisible power, the firstborn of every creature, man. Who has that preeminence? Yahawashi does. All right. Now, in order to fall up under the shadow of the Almighty or the shadow of Yahawashi, Yahawashi, then what? You have to be made, brought back up to that perfection. You can't just say, okay, well, I'm gonna just randomly. You have to be sanctioned from the beginning, man. You got wisdom. Could you get wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 up, verse 15? Because we're going back to this knowledge, man. And the closer we get towards the minds of the society, you see Esau Edom, he's bulking up with his sciences. He's bulking up with his meats. He's feasting in the darkness, man. All right? He's groping in the noonday, man. He's taking on his secret counsel like the brother read, man. The WEF, man. George Soros, all right? Now he's just a pawn on the Most High's board, and he's even a pawn on the elite board, man. Because you don't see these international banking families, their top, these top international banking families, and at least the Amalekites at these meetings, man. They have their pawns there, man. All right, pushing the buttons on. Okay, you got it, brother.
All right. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 15. And Yahweh have granted me to speak as I should, and to conceive as is meet for the things that were given me, because it is he that leadeth unto wisdom, all right, and directeth the wisdom, all right. So Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is the one who, pretty much gives you the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of things, man. All right. Continuing to 16.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
21.
All right. For for in his hand are both we and our words.
Go ahead.
all wisdom also and knowledge of workmanship.
The knowledge of workmanship, how things go, how to build, how to produce, what's productive, what's good, what's beneficial. Go ahead, brother.
It says, "For he hath given me certain knowledge of things that are, namely, to know how the world was made."
How the world was made. This was given to us from the beginning, man. As the Alahayim, we were there in the beginning, getting this knowledge from the Most High, man. So now, all right, when we're about to be made perfection or perfect in Yahawashi, we're coming back to all this, man. And we speak these things amongst each other. We say, hey, man, we're growing, we're waxing stronger, man. We're getting more knowledge, we're getting more understanding of how things are, how things work, how the Most High does things, man. Up until that time when Yahawashi cracks those files, man, and grants us our deliverance. You got it, brother.
It says, "In the operation of the elements."
The operation of the elements. Now, do we know the operation of the elements? How they move in the ins and outs of them?
No.
No, man. That shows you we fail, man. All right.
Yo.
You got it, brother.
All
You
right.
get another one too. Could you read that over again?
It says, you want me to start from
The one you just read.
okay. Wisdom of Solomon 7 and 17. It says, "For he hath given me certain knowledge of things that are, namely, to know how the world was made, and the operation of the elements, the beginning, ending, and midst of the times, the alternation of the turning of the sun, and the changing of seasons."
Ooh, all those things were given to us from the beginning, man. The alteration of the turn of the suns and the season. It tells you that in Genesis 1 and 14 when it goes into the Shabbat, man. All those things, the new moon, all right, the lesser light when it goes into that. Let me get it real quick, This is Genesis. The Lord told us all these things, man. These were 1,000-year periods that the Lord He put that wisdom and knowledge and understanding into us, man, about these different things. All right. This is Genesis 1 and 14, just showing an example. It says, Now Elohim said, Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. Now, someone might go to that verse and be like, That's a broad perspective. But the Lord is just outlining and telling you, yes, but that's a whole 1,000-year period that the specifics were in there in that 1,000-year period. All right. But this was the overall, and the Elohim said, Let there be firmaments of the heaven to divide the day from the night, being the sun and the moon, and let there be for signs and for seasons and for days and years, man. Going into the month, the Passat, the Day of Atonement, all right? Feast of the Tabernacles, Hanukkah, okay, and so on and so forth. These things were given to us from the beginning, man, all right? It wasn't just some fairy tale where you had a serpent, a little snake, a little apple, a woman naked, a man naked. No, man, all right? Think deeper, all right? Think metaphorically. That's how the Lord thinks in parables, man. You got it, brother.
It says, verse 19, it says, "The circuits of years and the positions of stars." It says, "The nature of living creatures."
The nature of living creatures. Not only do we know the living creatures, all right, birds, the simple things of it, right? Like birds fly, all right, certain things lie on their belly, certain things crawl. No, but we knew the nature of them.
Right, right.
The nature of them, man. Get the word nature, right? Because that's a specific that we haven't gotten on this side, man. We don't have dominion over these animals, man. All right, you get chased by a dog up the street. A wild dog chase you up the street. No respect for you, man. Dog will, until you get far enough away from him, he's neck and neck with you, man. All right, no fear at all, man. They don't fear us at all, man. But we're going to get that back in the fullness, man. We're being brought back into that perfection through Yahawashi, man. To know these things.
Okay.
You got anything? You got it, brother.
All right. It says, "The basic or inherent features of something, especially when seeing the characteristics of it." All right. So,
That's beautiful.
yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
So basically, knowing the characteristics of different animals, man, what they do, what they like,
Yeah.
what particular weather do they
What
like?
they eat, they spirit,
Yeah.
basically.
Gone.
They spirit, how they move.
Yep.
They spirit. You got it out.
All right. It also says some other definition. Um, their character go into that as well. Character,
Yeah.
nature. You know, certain dogs like a husky, he likes to be outside in the cold. Some dogs, they can't stand the cold.
Yeah.
It's just the characteristics of the nature of those animals, which in the kingdom, as the brother was saying, we're gonna get to know all of that back again. We're gonna get that information. We're gonna know the ins and outs of
Beautiful.
everything.
It's gonna be in us, brother, because it was in us from the beginning, and it's gonna be in us when we get the kingdom, man. Right?
Right.
Because that's how it tells you, and that's beautiful because that's how you know. Read that over again in Genesis. Genesis, real quick,
Okay.
because in order to know the nature of something, that tells you we knew the unclean from the clean, man. That tells you that the law was in us, man. It was oral, man. All right, it was already in us, man. Right? The
Yep.
Lord said the nature of wild beasts, right?
Yeah.
If we know the nature of something, okay.
Mm.
So we're going back to that state where the laws are going to be in us, man. We're going to have that natural fear and dread over the land, man. That's going to come with Yahawashi. Yahawashi going to sit there standing, man. He's going to say, that's my men. All right, they come in my name. You got it, brother.
All right. This is Genesis chapter 1 and 16.
But you can go back to Wisdom of Solomon 7.
Oh, okay.
You got it. You can read down to 21, brother, for sure.
This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7, starting back at 20. It says the natures of living creatures and the furs of the wild beasts.
Woo.
All right.
Now, read from 18. Go to 18, and then just read down.
All right.
I want to touch on that.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7 verse 18. The beginning, ending, and midst of the times.
So the Lord gave us this from the beginning. The Lord said that what? I declare that the end from the beginning, man. So the Lord gave us the knowledge of how things would work. But now we have to apply faith because it's like, okay, well, we believe in these things. We believe we were these men. So we got to act it out, man. That's what's going to save us. Our faith is going to save us and our belief in these things, man. Do we believe this is true? All right? Do we believe these things happen? Do we believe there's a higher power that's controlling everything, man? Because things happen on the earth. You got car wrecks, you got people going to the doctor, people at the stop sign, people at the grocery store, people at the bank. All those things are happening. But are those things happening by just mere chance? Or is there a creator influencing these things, man? We believe in that creator, man. And that belief alone is something that is far compassing the average person that's walking up and down the street, man. They just think things are just going on for what they are, man. Just seeing them for what they are, man. No, we think deeper into these things, man. That's why we know through faith we're gonna be brought back unto perfection. We have faith. We got hope that we're gonna get immortality, man. These things are for us, man. Because it's life, man. We don't want this place. You got it, brother.
All right.
You want to go ahead,
I will. It says the alteration of the turning of the sun and the changing of the
we
seasons.
got this from the beginning, man. From the very beginning, man. Like it goes into. All right, go ahead.
Yep. It says the circuits of years and the position of stars.
In a position of stars. How do things move in the galaxy? All right. Why are they there? What is their meaning? What is their
What the
purpose
purpose?
onto us, man? So we observe these things, all right, in a way that the Most High commands us to observe them. Okay. Therefore, our observation, they're not for our worship, man. Okay.
Yep. That's right.
They're to declare something in the Most High's name.
Mm.
You got it, brother. So the sun, the moon, the stars, they serve and work. They worship Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man.
Yep.
They do their works for the Lord. You got it, brother.
That's right, man. Hey, that's beautiful. That's true. They serve their purpose, just as everything else. And like the brother said, when you read the scriptures, it says that, the Lord will use the sun and the moon, all right, for what? To give you, use these different elements as what? For a sign, a wonder, and a time. To let you know that what? We just use these things. We don't worship them. You know, actually, we created these things and we are the elect, you know. So, yeah, man, these things and the knowledge of them are going to eventually come back to us. It's just a process of time, man, which we're working towards,
Right.
you know.
And just to show that ultimately these things, like the sun, the moon, the stars, and their orchestrations, they were made for us to observe. And ultimately, the Most High says this right here. This is Jeremiah 31 to 35. You got it out. It says, "Thus said the Lord Yahweh, which giveth the sun for a light by day, And the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, the sun being that light for the day, all right, and the moon being that light for the night, man, that lesser light. It says, which divided the sea when the waves thereof roar, the Lord of hosts is his name. Now check this out. It says, if those ordinances, speaking of the sun, the moon, if those ordinances depart from before me, said the Lord, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever.
Hey, and the sun shines even brighter, man, on the coast, man. So basically, if the sun and the moon had departed, man, the Lord would get rid of Israel, man. But that's not gonna happen because we see that every day. You know,
Right,
God,
hey, the elect is just as important as the sun and the moon because just like the sun and the moon, what they declare the times, right?
right?
The prophets, the elect, we go out and declare the times through prophecy, man. So
Yeah,
we play that important place unto the Lord, man. And we're gonna return unto that state. We're gonna return unto that righteousness and getting that full that knowledge and fullness of the working of these things, man. How they work, just as in the beginning. You got it, brother.
all right. You want me to go back to Wisdom of Solomon?
Yeah, you can read the 21 and then we can get it.
All right, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18. I'm still like Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 18. It says, the beginning of time in the midst of the time, the alteration of the turning of the sun, and the change of seasons, the circuits of years, and the position of stars, the natures of living creatures, and the furs of the wild beasts,
Furies.
the furies, Shalakia, of the wild beasts, and and the violence of winds, and the reasonings of men, and the, vi- the, diverse, the, the diversities, all right, of plants, and the virtues of roots,
Hey, cultivate,
yeah,
you know, all these
beneficial.
things. You got it, brother.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
basically, like the scriptures say that, the Lord has given us the herbs for healing, man. You know, we don't even know that. We don't even know the full extent of what herbs, can heal us in
Right,
from
right.
whatever ailments that we may have right now in this present time.
Yeah.
You know,
Because we've been restricted due to sin, man. Due to us falling away from Yahawashi, man. The Lord restricted us onto this estate, man, that we're in right now. But we're being brought back into perfection through Yahawashi, man, through this ministry, through the works of the Lord, man, onto that new covenant. You got it, brother.
it says, "And all such things are either secret or manifest; them I know."
Ooh.
It says, verse 22. It says, "For wisdom, which is the work of all things, taught me, for in her is an understanding spirit, holy, one only, manifold, subtile, living, clearly, undefiled, plain, not subject to
We
hurt."
was given this from the beginning. Read it one more time, huh? These are all the because we got the Holy Spirit from the beginning, man.
Yeah.
So these wisdom worketh the Holy Spirit. These are all the things that we received from the beginning, man. All right. And now, like the scriptures tell you in Revelation, it says, "In their mouth was found no guile, man. Undefiled, plain, clearly, lively." That's us, man. We're being made back onto that. You got it, brother. Salah.
All right, you want to stop here?
Yeah, break it down, man.
All right, this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 20. "For wisdom is the worker of all things. Taught me, for in her is an understanding spirit, holy, one one only, manifold, subtile, lively, clear, undefiled, plain, not subject to hurt." All right, loving the things that is good, quick, which cannot be leaded, ready to do good. All right.
Man,
So the wisdom, knowledge, and
pure.
understanding is everything, like the brother said, pure, man. All right, which taught us all things, which is working towards us to make us what? Perfect. You know? Yeah. So, all right. Woman,
Yeah, can you read down to 25?
all right.
And these all these things, like the brother's gonna read the point in 25. This was given to us when we were made in the image of Yahweh Shai, man. All right, that breath. You got it, brother.
It
Because
says,
Yahweh Shai is that breath, man. He is that word. All right, that spirit. Go ahead, bro.
It says Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7 verse 23. It says, kind to man, steadfast, sure, free from care, having all power, overseeing all things, and going through all understanding, pure and most subtile spirits.
Pure.
Right? It says, for wisdom is more moving than any motion. She passes through, so like it, she passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness.
Right. So wisdom can't be defiled, man. All right. Wisdom passes through things by reason of her purity, man. All right. Wisdom can either cut you to, like the scriptures tell you in Hebrews. Um, this word is a two-edged sword. You could either be cut to salvation or damnation, man. Same with this wisdom, man. Wisdom can either cleanse you or it can damn you, man. It can
Yeah.
destroy you. You got it. 25 is the point, brother.
All right. For she is the breath of the power.
For what?
It says, for she is the breath.
The what?
She is the breath,
The breath.
right,
Go ahead.
of the power of Yahweh and a pure influence flowing from the Holy and the Almighty.
A pure influence, man. Pure influence. So through wisdom,
Yeah.
we've been given that pure influence through the apostles on the planet Earth right now, man. Which coming from Yahawashi, man. All right, Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi. That pure influence, the Holy Spirit, man. All right, that's undefiled. That's not gonna leave you wrong. That's always gonna have your back, man. That's always gonna guide you. That's what we have, man. And we're gonna get that through Yahawashi, man. You got it, brother.
I got a quick precept.
Go ahead.
This is 2 Timothy 3 and 16. It says, all scripture is given by inspiration of Yahweh and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of Yahweh may be perfect, to furnish unto all good works.
Thoroughly
So,
furnished.
yeah, thoroughly furnished, man. So, this word, as the brother said, makes you a new man, makes you a new creature, and you know, makes you work towards that perfection. Or it'll make you, go more harder for the wicked, like being wicked.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna do what I want to get what you say.
The house got to be furnished. And house going into what? Your mind, your temple. Furnished being what? It has to be occupied. You got to occupy with prophecy. It has to be furnished. It has to be built up. It has to be built up. It has to be occupied. The lights got to be on, man. You can't just say, well, man, they're there, but the lights not on. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? Hello, it's the kingdom waving at you. Are you gonna just turn the other way? Cause some of our people they're very low vibrational. Their minds just turn beast instinct in a minute, man. In a snap second, they go from okay, well, so that beast instinct is gonna kick in. That's why Isaiah 33 and 6 says what? Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our time. And it was given to us from the beginning. So only the elect is gonna be stable, man. It's clear that not just any person that's walking around on the planet Earth has this equipped with them, man. You have to be ordained from the beginning. That's why we have to have a lot of faith in order to make it. You got it, brother. Go ahead.
All right.
Oh, we on that, huh?
I'm at 20. I'm at
You
25.
at 25, you can read it again the next one.
All right. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 25. For she is the breath, all right, of the power of Yahweh and a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty.
Read it one more time, Mark.
This is second, actually, like this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 25. For she is a, for she is the breath,
She is the what?
she is the breath of the power of Yahweh.
Okay. This is second Ezra 3 and 4. It says, O Lord, who bearest rule, thou spakest at the beginning. Spakest how at the beginning? Through wisdom. The brother is reading it. It says, when thou did plant the earth, and that thyself alone, and commandest the people. Verse 5, here's the point. It says, and gave it a body unto Adam without soul. So that body was given unto Adam without a soul, man. But what was given unto Adam to make his body lively, all right, or to give him a soul? It's gonna say it. It says, and gave it a body unto Adam without soul, which was the workmanship of thine hands, and did breathe into him the breath of life, and he was made living before thee. You see? You got it, brother.
Yeah, just like the scripture says, can these bones live? As that breath being brought back into, being brought back into those bones, man. They begin to develop, muscle and flesh and so forth and so on, until they're functioning in the spirit again. The valley shadow of death being this place, and the truth being that breath, man, that wisdom that brings you back alive, man, from that dead state, that dead mind frame. All right.
Yeah, and that's beautiful because it's going into that pure language, like Colossians 1 for gosh, the name of the Lord, right? When you opening up a vault, which way do you turn when you open up a vault? Like if you see movies and stuff, somebody trying to open up the vault, they twisting that lever, they twisting it to the left, right?
Yeah.
And I was thinking about this. I said, well, when you opening up a vault, like to get some treasure inside, you usually see the person like twisting to the left. And I said, man, Hebrew is written from right to left. So it's like you going right to left, and you steadily unlocking until you get to that vault, that treasure, the kingdom, man. You know? So it's Second Ezra 3, back in Second Ezra 3 and 6, it says, I'm gonna read down to 10. It says, and thou leadest him into paradise, speaking of Adam, paradise being Eden or joy, it says, which thy right hand had planted, so the Lord planted Eden, man. It says, before ever the earth came forth, and unto him thou gavest commandment to love thy way, which he transgressed, you see? So Adam transgressed, and ultimately get Romans 8 and 19, all right? And ultimately, the Lord did this, man. From the beginning, the Lord put it in us to go on. Ultimately, so we can know evil, so we can know good and evil, because the ultimate God knows what good and evil, man. Then you know how to judge aright, all right, and not be basically partial, man, or separated. You have that pure judgment, which is from wisdom. You got it, brother.
All right. This is Romans chapter 8, verse 19. For the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the expectation.
Ooh, one more time.
All right. This is Romans chapter 8, verse 19. It says, for the earnest expectation of the creature
The earnest expectation of the creature. Go ahead.
waited for the manifestation of the sons of God.
Waiting for the manifestation of the sons of the Most High, which are us, man.
Yep.
So what are they waiting for? What is creation, the entire creation, waiting for? Huh? All right, for us to be made gods again. Yep, like your brother said, peace, man. And that peace starts with us being made gods again, man. All right, being brought back to that state, man. Being in rulership again, man. That's what the whole entire creation groaneth for, man. For the sons of God to be returned to that first estate, man. All right, and it's starting with Yahawashi, the prototype, the preeminence, and
Right.
that's only right, man. It makes sense. It makes perfect sense. You got it, bro.
It says, verse 20, Romans chapter 8, verse 20, for the creature was made subject
One
to
more time, my sister.
Romans chapter 8, verse 20, for the creature was made subject
Who's
to
the creature? We brought that out in Genesis 1 and 20. All right, we're the top creature on the planet Earth. All right, the Israelites. Okay, we're made subject. Go ahead, brother. And it started with Adam, who was that top Israelite, or who is still that top Israelite, man. All right, he was that creature from the beginning who was ultimately first made subject to vanity, man. Eve being deceived, and Eve deceiving Adam, man. Go ahead, brother.
it says, for the creature was made subject to vanity,
To vanity.
not willing, but by reason of him who have subject,
Not willing. Ooh, beautiful. Go ahead.
not willing,
Not willing. So it wasn't our will to subject ourselves to vanity. We had to be subject to that by a higher power. Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. He subject us onto this vanity. All right, onto this estate we're in right now, man. We have no control of this. We're only to follow and do what the Lord says, man, which is prophesy, teach, uplift, make those Like you brought out Ezekiel, make those dry bones lively again, man, by this word. Preach onto them and say, look, we're going to be made perfect again. Just wait. Our time is coming, man. We're going to be brought back to that first state. You got something to say, bro? You got it, brother. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 20 again, it says, "For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who have subject the same in hope."
Woo.
All right.
Hey, and get that in the NLT, Romans Romans 8:19, and get that in the NLT. So it said we were made subject to vanity, right? But why were we made subject to vanity? We had to learn the other side, man. We've learned the other side through this hell, through this captivity. We've learned what evil is, man. We're about to see what evil is in its truest form. Esau Edom, man. With this Revelation 13 and 16, man, it's charagma. All right, that's the most wicked, abominable thing that's ever going to be written of, man. This passes up uh, the siege of Jerusalem, abomination, desolation, the desecration of the temple during the time of Antiochus Epiphanes. This surpasses all of that, man. This time we're coming into, which is Jacob's trouble, man. All right, and we're gonna see the greatest evil attempt, keyword attempt to be performed, man. All right, which is that Revelation 13 and 16, that charagma, man. All right, and the brother brought it out, the World Economic Forum, man. They're devising and conjuring up this plan for world global dominance, man. And Yahawashi is going to come back with that global dominance, man. As the scripture say in Revelation, all right, on his head is going to have many crowns. Go ahead, brother. You got any
All
in the
right.
NLT?
Verse 19, right?
Yeah, and 22.
All right. All the way down to 22.
No, just 22. 19,
Okay.
20.
Okay. This
You
is
got it.
Romans 8 and 22,
8 and 19, brother.
8 and 19. It says, "For all the creation is waiting uh, earnestly for the future day when Yahweh will reveal who his children really are."
Who his children really are, man. All right? So his children have been put to the test to know the other side of it, okay? To become that true judge of the planet Earth under Yahweh Shai, man, which is uh, the Father in the flesh, man. Yahweh in the flesh, Yahweh Shai, man. Go ahead, brother.
All right, I'm going to read it one more time. This is Romans 8 and 19. "For all the creation is waiting eagerly for that for the for that future day when Yahweh will reveal who his children really are."
That future day, man. We know that future day is upon us, man. That future day is upon us, okay? And that future day is what? Jacob's trouble, man. We got to go through the fire in order to get that inheritance, man. All right. To a certain extent, we haven't been declared worthy yet. We got to go through Jacob's trouble. We've been declared worthy from the beginning, but we got to walk through it, man, with integrity. We got to go through our loss, like Apostle Paul said. We got to run that full course. We got to run that race, man, until the end, to be made perfect. That's how we're going to be made perfect. Is this somebody else? You got it, brother.
All right. And it says, verse 20, it says, "Against its will, all creation was subject."
Ooh, against his will. Go ahead, brother.
It says, "Against its will, all creation was subject to God's curse,
Mm.
but with eager hope." That's it.
That's right, man. We were subject to the Most High's curse, man, from the beginning.
Yeah.
All right, and that
See,
curse, you got it, brother.
yeah, that curse was that evil seed that was sown in man from the very beginning. Basically, for us to know what the good and the evil, man. So what we'll be able to be righteous judges on the earth, man. All right, those righteous pillars, man. All right, to be able to know the good and the evil, man. To actually experience it, man. You have like if you want some work done to your house, you don't want to get somebody who actually read a book about plumbing or carpentry. You want somebody who actually been through the experience of it, went through the ins and outs, and went through the era, so that way what they'll do the job right, man. All right, it's the same with the Lord, man. All right, and us going off. All right, we have to understand the bad side. All right, to understand the good and appreciate the good. All right.
Mm. Um, I got some real quick, just backing you up.
All right.
All right. This is Romans 5 and 1. It says, therefore, being justified by faith, so faith justifies us, man, in these times, man. Not our own will. Faith justifies us. It says, now being justified by faith, we have peace with the Most High through our Lord Yahawashi Mashiach, by whom also we have access by faith into this grace wherein we stand. So right now we're standing in grace, man. You can't get around that. All right. This grace wherein we stand right now, right here, today, we're standing in grace. All right, I'm gonna read it again. Romans 5 and 2. By whom also we have access by faith into this grace wherein we stand. So we're standing in grace right now. All right? This is the grace we standing in, man. We're standing here by grace because if you think about it, if you think about how terrible the Lord is, the Lord could easily have us low destroyed us, man. Right?
Yeah.
So it says by grace we stand, right? By the grace of the Lord. Because
Yeah.
if it wasn't for the grace of the Lord, we wouldn't even be standing, man. But it says, you can stop me when I'm wrong. All right. Romans 5 and 2. By whom also we have access by faith into this grace wherein we stand and rejoice in hope of the glory of the Most High. And not only so, but we glory in tribulations also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience, and patience experience, which you were talking about that experience, right? And patience experience and experience hope.
That's right. So through trial and error, man, you know, like if you get a new car, all right, um, you don't really know too much about it, man. But like over a process of time, after fixing it, you know the ins and outs of that car. You know, like how to park into certain parking areas. You know, different things. Like you learn your car, man. You know, and it's the same thing. Like just experience, man. Just experience. Working on that word experience. You know, you keep on working at it. You get better at it, man. You know.
Yep. And it said patience worketh experience because when you falling and you taking losses, you gotta have patience to say, man, you know what? I'm not gonna curse the Most High. I'm not gonna just throw it away like on the book of Job. Job's wife was saying, she'll curse the Most High and die. What he said, what? Let me get it real quick, huh? Ooh, and that's a beautiful precept just to go with how we gotta receive both, man. We gotta receive both sides, man. All right. This is Job 2, and I'm gonna start at verse 5, and you can liken this onto the a lot of the elect, man, because we're going through this. We're being made likened onto this, man. Shalom, Akiyam, Yabba Shemiel Shabrakatham. Shalom, shalom, brothers. Shalom, folks for the elect.
Shalom.
Yabba Shemiel Shabrakatham. All right, because this account right here is likened onto our lives, man. We're likened onto Job. This is Job 2, and I'm gonna start at verse verse 4. And Satan answered the Lord and said, skin for skin, yea, all that a man has he will give for his life. Because the Most High even set Satan up to come and say, okay, well, let me test Job. Job ain't what you think he is. Let me test his integrity. The Most High even did that to prove how powerful he is. So Satan said, well, man, if I put all this hell on Job, he's going to turn against you, Lord. And the Lord said, no, not so. All right, I'm going to put Job to the test. Take everything from him, and we're going to see if he still holds his integrity in him.
Uh-huh.
And let's see. You want to say something, brother?
You're right. I'm gonna get on it.
All right, it's Job 2 and 5. It says, but put forth thine hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Satan, behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. And that's us, man. We're in the hands of our oppressor, man. All right? But our lives are being spared. Why? Grace. We're standing in grace. It's only the grace of the Most High that we're able to do the works, call upon the name here in America, where the enemy is trying to cast a trench about us, man. Like in 70 AD, this is about to be 70 AD on steroids, so the enemy is going to come with those same tactics that have been recycled from those times, man, to come against the children of the Most High. But it says, and the Lord said unto Satan, behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord, and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his feet unto his crown. So he chastised Job, man. All right, and Job was a spokesman, a spokesperson for chastisement, saying take pleasure in it, dwell in it, man, because that means the Most High, He's dealing with you. So it says, and He took and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown, and he took him a potsherd, Salakia, to scrape himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes, meaning he was low, man. All right, he was afflicted, he was hurt, man. You see who this is on here? Okay, he was afflicted, he was hurt, man. All right, so he was put down low, and that's our mindset right now. We're in the house of the mourning, man. We're not in the house of the feasting. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, yeah, like the brother said, we're in the house of the morning right now. We're not in the house of the feasting, man. All right, we in that humble spirit, man, in hope that the Lord, have mercy on us, man, because we need it, bro. As the brother said, that we hope that the Lord, save us, man.
The earnest expectation.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's earnest, man. Could you get that word earnest, brother?
Uh,
It's earnest, man, because it's like you said, it's the truth, man. It's undefiled, it's lively, it's clear. All right. I'm gonna read Job 2 and 8 again. And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes. Then said his wife unto him, dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse the Most High and die. So at that lower state Job was in, his wife came and he said, kicked him when he was down, man. All right. You see
yeah,
me when I'm
yeah,
already low. Do you still love the Most High? You still worship the Most High now that He's taken everything from you? Is this still your power? Is this still your God? So it says, then said his wife unto him, dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse the Most High and die. But he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of the Most High? And shall we not receive evil?
true, man. That's
So
the
we have to
balance.
learn good and evil, bro.
That's the balance.
You got it, brother.
That's balance, man. And the scripture said, false balance is abomination to the Lord, man. So we have to have that balance of knowing good and evil, and we also have to have the balance of being able to go through things and have good, like the good and the bad, man. Both sides, man. You know. So yeah, man, we on both spectrums on this side right here.
Righteousness and wickedness, man.
Yeah.
We know it. That makes a good judge. But does that mean that we're wicked just because we know wickedness too? No, man. We have a balance in the Lord. The Lord made us just. But I'm gonna read it again for you. I just Job 2 and 10. But he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What shall we receive good at the hand of the Most High, and shall we not receive evil? And all this did not Job sin with his lips.
Yeah. Because you see, uh, if you see, read it one more time, huh? So many couple of times.
All right, read it again. This is Job chapter 2, verse 10. But he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaking. What shall we receive good at the hand of the Most High, and shall we not receive evil? And all this did not Job sin with his lips.
Right. So just like you have a child, right? Sometimes you put them through, a little bit of, you put them through certain things, man. All right, and that's basically what the Lord is doing to us, man. The scriptures tell us that what the Lord loveth who He chastens, man. All right, and one of my favorite scriptures is that the Lord has chastened me, but He hasn't chastened me unto my death, man. So that's what the Lord will do, man. He will try you. That's a part of why the scripture said the Lord tried you what fire that's tried in gold that's tried in the fire, man. You know. So with that, man, it creates experience, and you understand, man. You start to understand that you need these things, man, because we're not perfect, man. We fall. All right. It keeps you humble. It keeps you in a humble state of mind, man. All right. When you have all these abundance and things, you more likely to fall. You know. So the Lord, that's the way the Lord keeping you humble, man. You know, the Lord keeps you humble that way. It's all about a balance. You know.
I got one backing you up,
You still wanted that word, Ernest?
Yeah, yeah, you can bring it up.
All right. All right. So this is the definition of earnest, and uh, it says, um, it says, a result of showing sincere and intense conviction. All right. It says serious, serious minded, all right, sober, all
Hmm.
right, deep, all
Yep.
right. Let's see,
Right.
see what else it has. Dedicated, all right. So yeah, man, that's the definition of earnest, man. Because we in a serious mind state, man. The scriptures say, um, that what manner of conversation should we be in, man? You know, so we working to be perfect, man. Like the title of the script, like the title of this lesson is, we working to be diligent, man, to become perfect. All right, to receive those bodies and to understand all things, man, through wisdom.
Yep.
All right.
This is back in that Romans 5th chapter, and you got it. Right? It says, "Wherefore, as by one man sin entered into the world, and death by sin, and so death passed upon all men, for that all have sinned. For until the law, sin was in the world, but sin is not imputed when there is no law. Nevertheless, death reigned from Adam to Moses, even over them that had not sinned after the similitude of Adam's transgression, who is the figure of him that was to come." Man,
Right.
you
It's a
gonna,
lot to
I'm gonna read it again. It said, I'm gonna read the latter part. It says, "Nevertheless, death reigned from Adam to Moses, even over them that had not sinned after the similitude of Adam's transgression, who is the figure of him that was to come." Man. And the figure of him, give me 1 Corinthians 15 and 52 out. The figure of him to come is Yahawashi, man. All right. And it says, death reigned from Adam to Moses, man. Due to what? Due to sin, due to transgression. And it tells you in Exodus 15th chapter, all right, sing unto the Lord a praise in Zion, roughly paraphrasing, because that old song is that same new song, man, which is being sung in Revelation, the 14th chapter. That old song is the new song, man. Just like the old covenant is the new covenant, man. All right, it's the same thing. And the Lord is coming back all around in full circle. The Lord's judgment is coming back in full circle, man. All right, Adam from the beginning sinning, coming back as Yahawashi, being that quickening spirit, man, that angelic being, man. Like the scriptures tell you, and it was going to go from earthly to spiritual to heavenly. You got it, brother.
All right, this is First Corinthians chapter 15. All right, verses 30.
Start at 52, brother.
All right, verse at 52. All right, it says, "For this corruption must put on incorruption, and
Corruption must put on incorruption. Corruptible started when? When Eve and then Adam went off, man. When Eve went off, then Adam went off, man. All right, we became corruptible. So now we're going to put on incorruption. We had it before. We had incorruption before we sinned, man. Before Eve was went off, then Adam. You got it, brother.
yeah, it says, for this incorruption must, yeah,
You got it.
it says, for this corruption, it says, must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So when his corruptible shall put on incorruption.
Right, because it was the serpent and his knowledge of wickedness that corrupted Eve, then ultimately corrupted Adam, man. That knowledge of wickedness, man, that corrupted him, man, that sin. Okay, so now us knowing that now we could truly be perfect, man. You got it, brother. On to Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It says, and this mortal shall put on immortality.
Right, so we're going back to perfection now, man. We're putting on immortality now. Immortality through who? Yahweh Shai.
It says, and then it says, and then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. So basically, we must be changed, all right, into those new bodies, man, all right, to be able to have, immortality, man, and those incorruptible bodies. These bodies have to basically die off, man, because this is a corruptible temple, man, you know. And it says, death is swallowed up in victory because what? We have we're perfect now. There's no room for sin.
Right.
And as the scriptures say, sin brings forth, transgression of the law, and therefore brings what? Death.
Right.
So we're going to be perfect now. We're not going to die, you know. So, Khan. that's it. Lord willing, this video was edifying to everybody who may have watched it. Let me give all honor and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
Give honors to the elders and apostles of Red Millstone. Salutations and blessings to you, Akim, that's doing the work in truth and sincerity. All right, until the next time we say Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
All right, in the Bhagabal.
Baba Ball.
Right.
Shalom. Till next time.
Till next
Shalom.
time.